All right, this baby did not get sold this weekend, so it is going on the chopping block. So the next organ donor is a 1982 Sportster. Go and get it on the lift. I'm thinking my plan of attack here is I'm gonna pull and keep the motor whole. It runs too well, you know what I mean? Somebody's gonna need that and gonna use this for a chopper project. So first we're gonna pull the exhaust. We're gonna drain all the fluids as best we can, and then we're gonna pull the motor. Well, we got take some other stuff off, but then we're gonna pull the motor. But first things first, pipes. All right, let's start these pipes. Let's get these pipes out the way. Let me try not to get in anybody's way here. Got another one here. All right, cool. That guy. All right. Pipes are in good shape. All right. Gotta pull the chain off. So the pipes are off, the chain's off. Now I like to pull the sprocket cover. I'm probably going to connect this from the master cylinder. Very interesting little system they got going on here. It's fairly clean though. I mean, I've seen some hack jobs in the past. There we go. Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect the oil lines while I see them. That's probably gonna make my life a lot easier. Make sure if you're doing this I know I drain the oil and all that, but there's still gonna be oil in these, so make sure you got a pan ready. Splash oil all over yourself. Oil looks pretty good. Next up, the motor mounts. So I usually start with the front motor mounts. This is good because you're gonna get the motor mounts and the forward controls off in one go. So I'm gonna detach this brake line, pull the front motor mounts out, and then we're gonna go back to the rear and pull those out, and then top and front. Whoopsie. So now we just gotta cut that oil line that leads to, let me see if we can see that, the filter, which I already removed. And then those motor mounts will be gone. Next up will be that one. There's one on the, then you have these 4 bolts back here for the rear motor mount, which are all 9/16. Easy to get to because it doesn't have the full fender, so let's get those out right now. So now we got to pull off this motor mount. Oh my bad, that's not a motor mount. We have to pull out this motor mount and then this one. Got to cut the line here, free up these. Then I like to, you don't have to do this, I like to pull the generator. Makes life a lot easier. Then you need to disconnect everything that's attached to the motor, including the rest of the oil lines, which I'm sure I missed some. I'm gonna have to go through those. And it should come right out. Pull these off. To get to those middle top motor mount bolts, you're gonna have to pull the tank. This tank has this fake little sticker thing. A lot of people commented on it. It's like, oh, I love that, I love that. I didn't realize it's fake. I mean, it looks good. They did it kind of like, they put it in a decent spot, but it's like a rubber sticker. I'm scared to pull it off, but we're gonna have to do it. Also has these nice dents right here. So, when you pull a motor from a Sportster and you go to put it back in, I would always recommend to make sure the long bolt for the motor mount comes this way so you could put a nut on here. Otherwise, you would have to take off the oil pressure sensor to take that out, which isn't the end of the world, but it's usually easier to flip those around. I've seen them run in both directions. I don't recall at the moment which way is factory, but I do see more of the bolt facing this way where the nut would be here versus the bolt going that way and the nut on this side of the motor. Pro tip. Pulling the pressure sensor is pretty easy. Just be careful when you do it. Or careful when you're putting it back on. You don't want to strip this. Oil pumps are pretty important. That. You're gonna get some leaking. Pull that bolt out, and you can go ahead and just reinstall it. So now, once you have all the motor mounts off, I would go around and just unplug everything that attaches to the motor. You got the pickup for the ignition right here. That unplugs pretty easily if you do it correctly, not be a doofus and just pull on it. Right here. What is that? The ignition switch for the starter or whatever. It's the, you know, I'm not sure the name of it. Sometimes it's, you know, for the earlier ones it faces this way, for the new ones it faces towards us. Alright, that's unplugged. Positive cable. That's the ground. Pull the ground out. Now you can leave the ground right there. The positive one I just pull down towards through the basket so you can rip that out. Like so. Yeah, pull that out. Just kind of stuff it somewhere. Cut these zip ties, spark plugs, the VOEs, all that fun stuff's got to get unplugged. And then this baby can come right out. Let's do that. Go ahead and clip all the zip ties leading to the motor. Alright, those are just oil line zip ties. Generator I'm going to remove before taking the motor out. It makes it a little easier. Anything attached to the motor must come out. Literally just flip it up, get it out of the way. This has to come off full. Alright. Those are 5/8. You can go ahead and just pull that off now, flip it up. It's in good shape. Does break a lot. Everybody always wants to pull the motor out on the primary side. The motor goes out easiest on the cam side. I'll show you in a second. The battery box. I keep saying I'm gonna pull this. Yeah, we're gonna pull this. Just gonna remove this and this. The two tops are 1/2 inch. The bottom is a 7/16. Sometimes it's different. Obviously, people start messing with these. They start losing and changing bolts. It's okay. Don't fret. There we go. I'm missing. That is going to be 1/2 inch. Generators usually always 1/2 inch. Sometimes people have Allen key bolts there. Pull this guy out. There's like a little ring in there. You got to get over the ring. It's a little hard on my hand, but there you go. Generator's out. Generator looks good. We'll do a little bench test on that later. This baby had 2 carb brackets. All right, she's all free now. She's gonna come out. Now I'm gonna lower the table, pull the dolly over here, and pull the motor out. So now I'm going to pry the motor forward from the back of the motor mount. I'm just gonna kind of pop it a little forward, just a little bit, and then I'm gonna pull it out like this. So like this front end of the cam cover is gonna come out first, and we're just gonna shimmy it down onto the dolly. Yes. Shimmy. Just like that. Careful of anything that's still attached. Now's the time to double check. Nice and easy. Walk it out. I don't care how strong you are, these motors are pretty heavy, and if you do it as much as I do, you gotta be careful. just like that. Pop it right out. Well, you see, there's not much to it. It does change a little bit throughout the years, but it is pretty much the same procedure. Unplug everything from the motor. The motor mounts are all pretty much in the same spot for up until 2004. Then they get a little weird with the rubber mounts. But it is pretty much the same procedure. I'll say up until about 2004. I like to pull it out on the right side of the bike. Some people may like to knock the bike over, put some towels down, put the bike over, and then pull the frame off the motor, which is fine too. That's cool. To me, this is the way I've been doing it. This is my quickest route. I'm sure I didn't film some things. The GoPro is acting up and it did die a couple times. But if there's something you have questions with, just comment below. I'll answer every question. I have no problem. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Make sure you you know, like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. And I will see you next time.